morning, guys. Wow, it's nice and cool out here this morning. That will make the greenhouse very pleasurable to work in. So it is Tuesday morning. Hope y'all had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I did not finish anything up in the greenhouse yesterday. Joe was out there working on the gravel area, and I'll show you guys what he got done. And luckily this morning the sun's not out, which I hate saying that, but it feels amazing in here. It's 73, so I need to get to work in here and get as much done as I can before the sun comes out, because it said only 20% chance of rain today. So I'm assuming the sun's gonna make its presence soon. Joe put in the railroad ties and they look really nice. They kind of tied in this gravel area so it wouldn't slide down into the yard. But it looks good. Our first thing was gonna be putting concrete all the way across. And then we thought, oh my gosh, it looks like a parking lot. So we were gonna leave it grass, which we could always go back to that at some point. But they had so much gravel put in here that we just decided to leave it. I don't know, if in the wintertime it gets snowy or icy and we end up sliding down through here, hopefully the gravel will stop us. Because I thought if this was all concrete, the minute we park in here, because Eli usually parks his truck here, I feel like it would slide. So I like the gravel, it's fine. Thought about putting some raised beds in right here, but because of this tree, we don't really get enough sun for that. I got this bed cleaned out. It looks good. I may end up putting some fall crop in there. I don't know, I'm still thinking about that. I need to see what kind of seeds I have. Really, I honestly need to get some new seeds. I used to plant lettuce there, which did really good, so I'm thinking about doing that. But I'm gonna have to go get some fresh seeds as soon as I can drive, or have Joe take me. I cleaned out my aquarium yesterday too. After it got hot and I couldn't work in the greenhouse, I come in here and decided to do a nice water change and gravel vac, and it looks so good. I hadn't cleaned it in a long time. I usually clean my aquarium 2 or 3 times a year because it's so fully planted. It just doesn't require cleaning it like a lot of people think it does. But look at that. Doesn't that look so beautiful? I need to get some more fish. I've got a mom and a dad guppy, and then I have babies in here because they had babies, and they are in there. They're just teeny, and they hide in all my plants, which keeps them safe until they get big enough to emerge. But they've been swimming around here. Let me see if I can get my light. Move it a little bit towards the front, and sometimes I can see them a little better. So, there's one. I don't know if y'all can see it. Back in there. Oh, there's another one way back in there. It's smaller. All right, time to work in the greenhouse. I need to call today about my fan because it is Tuesday and everybody should be back at the Farm Tech place. I need to organize these bins because they usually just sit out here full of junk. I'm gonna put that little nozzle right there. I've got to hang a little bird feeder on the window at some point. Welcome back, guys. I am not in the greenhouse today. I ended up not being able to finish in there. It got too hot. We're still waiting on the vent fan, but I did get a hold of Farm Tech again because I hadn't found like a shipping number or anything emailed to me. With confirmation, but they still said that it was on the way, and hopefully today or tomorrow. So we'll get back to the project as soon as I get the vent fan installed. But I found a cooler area to work. This is my former fish room. This used to be a fish room under here. I love fish. Me and Seth both love fish. So I have a big 75-gallon left. Guppies were like one of my favorite fish. And I only have 2 guppies left, a male and a female. Just over the last year or so, I've not had any way of I've not been separating them, you know, and breeding them properly in order to preserve the fry and make sure that they can grow out safely in order to have more fish. So my fish has kind of dwindled off because I've not been taken the precautions and kind of doing it properly. I've just been letting them just survive in here as they do naturally. Seth got a bunch of fish stuff donated to him. It came with a bunch of like little fish nurseries and little breeding things, and I thought I'd share those with you guys because I thought that I would separate a few fish. I have, like I said, a male and a female left, and she gave birth not that long ago, and I caught 4 fry. So I decided to put them in this right here. This is the first thing that I got. It's a little breeder basket, and it's actually very good size. I ended up catching 4 fry from the 2 parents that I have in here. And if I can show you the male, he is gorgeous. I would love to get some fish grown out from him. So that is my goal at the moment. I've got 4 of his little babies. They're called fry, and guppies are live bearers, so they don't lay eggs, they just give live birth. There's one of them right there. Isn't that cool? They're so small though, so if you don't get them protected away from the bigger fish, they will get eaten very easily. Guppies, if they can fit it in their mouth, they'll just have a light snack out of them. So my tank is a little bit easier probably to keep fish from getting eaten, just because there's a lot of hiding spots. But sometimes as soon as they come out, like from hiding from the grass, they'll come out to get food when I dump it in here. They're susceptible. So if I can have a little area for them and their own little area, I can feed them separately, and they're guaranteed to be safe and get plenty of food. They don't have to fight for their food, so I can grow them out quicker. I used to keep fry in separate tanks in here. This was a fish room. I've still got like a linear piston air pump going around this whole entire room. It's located right here. It works awesome. So if you see this PVC pipe goes all the way around the room, and I have all these little fittings right here. They are air. See that? I can control the amount of air that comes out, and I can put tubing down from it. So essentially I could put hundreds of tanks in here. And I used to have quite a few, but I had like colors separated, and I had little tanks, little breeding tanks for each color. I had fry tanks. It was really cool. The tanks weren't planted like this one, so it took a lot of like water changes. This one right here takes hardly any water changes. Literally, I could probably go 6 months or longer and never even have to change the water. I bet you I could go a year without changing the water with all of the plants in here. But if you're wanting to breed seriously, then and have different colors of fish and things like that, you have to have multiple tanks. There are ways to set up things that change water a little bit easier. I just had a system where you just manually had to go take water out of each one. So I don't know, there's different ways of doing it, but nonetheless I love fish. So this is one way that you can get fry. You have to come in here and catch them after the mama gives birth and put them in there. That can be tricky because when they hide in here, you cannot see them or get them. You just have to get them if you see them swimming out. So a better way to do it is put the mom in a little birthing unit. So here's the first one that I have. Now, the way I set this one up was I have some air tubing coming into here. I probably should have done it in the back side of the tank so it didn't look so it doesn't have this hanging right across the front. I may do that a little bit differently. I have to cut a little hole in that and fish it through. But anyways, I hook it in right here, and what that does is this is 2 different sections. This is for the mama, which I have a mama in here. You can see her. Let me put this down, and then I can move the light forward and we can see her a little better. Okay, there's the mama. She's hiding from me a little bit. She doesn't want to be on camera. But this right here is another little portable section inside this first chamber that's separated from this one. It's got a little hole in the bottom, so when she gives birth, the fry come down in here, and there's some tubing right there. It's creating a vacuum with this tubing that I put right here. This air tubing is bringing up air right through here and creating a vacuum. So when the fry come down, they'll go into this and into this chamber right here, and it separates the mom from the fry, keeps them from getting eaten, and then I can easily keep them in here, let them grow out for a little while, and then move them in somewhere else, into this basket right here. And then if I had a separate tank, I could put them in that. Now here is something that I got that's new, I've never used before. very similar concept. It has a little divider. See that? The mama goes on top, the fry fall down, and they go into the bottom part. So that's really cool. I think that'll work very effectively. It actually just suctions to the side of the tank. And I've never tried it, but I may do that. Now here's the third option. I've used these before. They work very good. They're floating baskets. And they've got a little divider in the middle as well. It looks like this. The mom gives birth first and they fall through to the bottom. They're safe down there. Take the mama out and then the fry can grow out in this little thing. I like these. I've had a bunch of these. So that's what I've got going on. Just kind of waiting on her to give birth. She's big and she's got like a little dark spot on the back of her belly. Y'all can see it. That's an indication that she will give birth before too long. She's a sweet little fish. Look at her. The female guppies aren't as colorful as the males. The males are the pretty ones. Now, certain colors of females are prettier than others, in my opinion, but there's so many colors of guppies. So when I started breeding them, I had like 4 or 5 different colors. I had reds, I had snake skins, and just all kinds of different colors. I had a lot of different colors, but different colors starts meaning that you need different tank setups, because you gotta have one for the big ones, one for the little ones, and grow outs. But it was really fun. The pastor that married me and Joe, he has a fish room and it is so cool. It got me into him. Oh, let's look at the male. I see him. Look at him. Is he not gorgeous? He's being very shy. Here is my fish food. This end is for fry and that end is for adults. It's just a pepper and salt shaker, and I just put their food in there and I grind it up, and I grind up the fries food just really small. They found the food. It's the next day. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. It is really heated up here in East Tennessee. We are probably near 90 right now and it's really humid. I think that there is a severe storm alert for this evening, maybe in the next couple hours. So I was just trying to get some things watered in here. Probably won't be coming back down here this evening. This will be my last little trip down here today. I've not done anything else in here. My plan was to start cleaning over there and it didn't get done because my vent fan just arrived yesterday evening and it got too hot. So Joe's gonna put it in the morning, and there's a cold front coming in and it's gonna be perfect temperatures to do stuff in here all week coming up. There is so much repotting and propagating starts in here that I need to really get going. So I probably could have episodes and episodes full of that stuff. There's so much. All of my succulents have had babies. If y'all see that, I need to separate all these. Each and every plant has stuff I can separate and put in their own pot, clean them up, make them look nice, get all the little dead leaves off the end of them. That's just what they do when they grow out. So I've got a lot of work to do, and then I'll have a bunch of new extra plants as well. I started some starts here, and they're doing really good. Got some little ruffled echeveria, and that one, wow, that one's really taken off. I've got just all kinds of stuff. And I want to show you guys something I just noticed. Look at that. My lifesaver plant bloomed. I like to show it every time it does because it's just the coolest thing ever. But anyways, so that's on the agenda coming up. I want to get this area ready for seed starting because I would like to do seeds over the winter. I didn't start stuff over the winter last year, and this area has a pellet stove, so there's no reason why I should waste that time and start seeds, I could have flowers already ready to go out there and not have to go to the nursery and buy them for like $10 and $12 for just little plants. All right, guys, I'm headed in. Y'all see that? You do not want to mess with that thing right there. That is called a velvet ant, and it will mess you up from its sting. That is not cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm out of here. No. Whew. I've never been stung by it, but I have heard horror stories. Now, I don't know if that was the male or female, and I'm not sure if both of them sting, but oh gosh, I ain't taking my chance.